Okay. Hello and welcome to the June 15th meeting of the Manhattan Community Board 5 Parks, Public Spaces and Environment Committee. I am Libby Hutton. I am the chair. And an admin note, this is the July full board meeting cycle. So items heard tonight will move forward to our July full board meeting on the second Thursday of July, whatever date that actually works out to. Let's start by introducing ourselves. We've got some new
We
faces.
speak a little slower and louder, please.
Yeah, we've got some new faces, so I'm gonna start with my vice chair to my right.
Ronald Vikram.
That's it, just your name?
Just your name.
Little background? Little background?
Sure. I am also on the Land Use and Zoning Committee. Is that enough? Continue? All right.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, for now,
I can do better.
for full.
Do better then.
Yeah, that's enough. We can do a little bit more in orientation.
Okay, I'm Andrea Ng. I'll leave the talking to Mike.
I didn't hear you. You have to speak louder.
I'll leave the talking to you.
Oh, thank you. I'm Michael K-Bat. I was born and raised in New York City. I've been on a community board for 6 or 8 years or something like that. I love it. Gives me some insight into how the city works. And anybody who's interested in learning more about New York City should consider becoming part of a community board. You're up, Chris.
Christopher Nazaro, what am I supposed to say? I stuck with being born in New Jersey for the rest of my life. It's terrible. They always ask you, and then you have to write down New Jersey.
Come on, guys.
Distraction.
Hannah Dugan, I'm a new member. Gail Kelly.
That's it?
We're moving,
That's for later, Mike. Try to,
Wait, what's
we have to keep our agenda a little bit tight tonight. Thank you.
Robert Tyler.
Great. So to our new to the committee and also new on board entirely, members, welcome. We have a little bit later of an agenda tonight, and then we're going to go into some admin stuff just for the committee. Just to set expectations so everyone can stay back for like 30-45 minutes just to discuss going forward stuff. But our first
Libby, was I supposed to introduce myself?
oh, yes, you were.
Hi, everybody. I'm Todd Shapiro, a longtime member of PPSC. I love the parks. I love what we do. It's so much fun. And welcome to the new members.
All right,
John Harris.
anyone else online, can you please introduce yourselves too?
Can you hear me?
You sound like Todd now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I'm John Harris, also a longtime member of
You do.
the Community Board 5. I live in Community Board 5, and I'm doing this because I love New York City and I love public service.
Oh, no, this is so 17, sorry.
Athena?
I think Catherine unmuted to go, but I'm Athena. Great to see everyone. Welcome to the committee.
And I'm Catherine, also another longtime member who appreciates the long position in New York City. The Knicks proved that it could take a long time to be a winner, and we're all grinning with them, right? Good evening.
Good evening. Nice.
All right, and so for tonight, we are hearing in our public session the annual the summer programming from Madison Square Park. We have Vincenzia here from Madison Square Park to give us a little bit of a presentation, and Catherine is our lead committee member on that, just as a reminder. That then we will go into questions. Please keep all questions about the presentation pertinent to any resolution that may arise from the presentation. And then I will bring it into public comment.
Context and why this happened once a year.
Yeah, and then we'll go into comments from the public, and then any business conversation will take place. Only members of the committee are allowed to speak at that time without permission of the chair. Please remember to address all comments to the chair. We can keep it a little bit more informal at committee, but just keep things moving and keep it pertinent to the matter at hand. We are hearing the summer programming. This is part of their annual programming that we hear from our partners and public-private partnership. This is really the public forum under which all of these events get heard. And one of the only public places where the public-private partnership is really sort of has public input to it, which is part of why it comes to our committee, because otherwise there would not really be anywhere else for it to be heard by the public or have comment from the public. So just for a little bit of context on why we hear that, for any new members, or members of the public who are new, Madison Square Park is allowed 4 commercial activations per year, 4 fundraising events per year. That's more of an in line with the gala, and then 1 event that is an event that is styled after the Big Apple Barbecue in past years, that is specifically written into their agreement with the city. We can talk more about details of what that looks like. There is a lot of history there. But for those events, they are allowed to do that because they're entirely responsible for raising their own funding for the programming of the park. And in exchange, they also provide a lot of recreational programming and events, which is some of what we're going to hear here as well. And Vincenzia is ready with a brief presentation, I believe, to give us some top line highlights on this. And for context, everyone should have received a questionnaire about some of this and presentation.
That's 5 events.
In our committee folder. There are 4 fundraising events, 4 commercial activations, and 1 other thing that is like the Big Apple Barbecue in style, but does not have to be Big Apple Barbecue.
So there's 9 things.
Correct. 4 fundraisers, 4 commercial activations, 1 other thing like the Big Apple Barbecue that is not necessarily the Big Apple Barbecue.
Right.
Well, great.
And Libby,
That's like the galas.
They don't do that for.
so this is Catherine.
Yeah. Hey, Catherine. Yes, you're recognized.
Thank you. So before we get started, I just want to say to the new members, welcome. And although this is an annual programming presentation, keep in mind for each event, we usually look at 4 areas that are in our metrics, where we look at footprint, visual aesthetic, impact on the public use of the plaza, and sanitation. But without further ado, I'm going to let the Chief of Staff at Madison Square Park Conservancy start the presentation. I'm going to also ask that you talk a little bit about your role, because a lot of people don't know what happens at a conservancy, what it takes to make it run. So it would be just good to hear a little bit about what you do in your role as Chief of Staff. Vincenzia Fasulu, take it away. Thank you for coming for the presentation tonight.
Thank you guys so much for having me, and thank you for everything that you do as the community. Sorry, I'm allowed to speak.
It's your presentation.
Yes, you are, Vincenzia, you're recognized. Please continue with the presentation.
Fabulous. To answer Catherine's question about being a chief of staff, it honestly depends on the day. I help see programs run smoothly. I help with our communications. I help with the stuff and things around the office. I'm kind of an admin assistant and jack of all trades, and I love my job, and I'm really happy to present. I will share my screen and we can get started. All right, can you all see my screen?
Yeah, but if you could make it
bigger?
Yeah, that's better.
Beautiful. All right. So these are the summer programs in Madison Square Park. Just Libby, thank you for the context, but to give you a little more, the Madison Square Park is a really unique case study in public space and what can happen when a community comes together in support of a park. So we have 19 million visitors annually, We're our New York's only privately funded public park. Our annual budget is $6.5 million. And as Livy said, we have to raise that ourselves. We're an American Public Garden and Manhattan's only accredited arboretum. And we're really proud to present world-renowned public art and extensive free public programming. And all this aligns with our mission. Our mission is to conserve, maintain, and program this historic green space, including raising 100% of the park's operating budget. And I take great pride in caring for and shaping this urban oasis, as do my teammates. All right. I'm so sorry. So first off, if you have been through the park, you may have seen Roberto Lugo's Alfarero del Barrio, which translates to Village Potter. It's on view from now until December 6th. Roberto's work reimagines historical ceramic forms through the lens of his Puerto Rican heritage and North Philly upbringing, and he plays with the visual language of hip hop and graffiti. This is relevant to the committee because we actually are having public art tours The next ones will be June 17th. So actually this week, July 7th, July 21st, and August 19th. These tours are 20 minutes long. So if you can stop by, please do. Next up, we're really excited to share our Celestial Summer / Moon Tree launch party. So the little green tree you see here is actually, so it's planted on Farragut Lawn on the northern end of the park. And this, in collaboration with NASA, this tree was planted from seeds that orbited the moon around NASA's Artemis 1 mission, which is so incredible to be working with NASA to study this tree and how it grows here on Earth after it's been around the moon. We have designed our summer plannings to reflect the theme of Celestial Summer, and we'll have a day of free programming on July 16th from 4 to 8 p.m. And again, these programs are free and open to all. I'm sorry if I didn't say that earlier. Next up is our Carnegie Hall citywide concerts for 3 Wednesdays in July at 6 p.m. Please bring a blanket. Again, this is free and open to the public, and we do this every year with Carnegie. And finally, we're really thrilled to bring back for its second year the Nomad Jazz Festival on August 7th and 8th. And excuse me, I don't know too much about the Nomad Jazz Fest, but if you have any questions about that, I can connect you with my colleagues who do. And finally, I'm really thrilled about our recurring free programs. We have a monthly history tour where you can join my boss, Holly Light, to explore the colorful history of Madison Square Park and its surrounding neighborhood. We also have garden walks with our horticulture experts to teach you about what is in bloom every summer, or every month. It's the summer now, so if you come to the tours, you'll get the summer plants. And we also have bench hours once a month. Our next bench hours are actually happening tomorrow in the evening if you want to stop by. And looking ahead, as Libby kind of mentioned, we are allotted for fundraisers every year. We only use 2. One of them is Taste of Asia on October 8th. One of our trustees curates 40+ restaurants for a unique tasting experience that benefits both the park and Apex for Youth. And we're also excited to bring back our tree lighting, the oldest public tree lighting in the United States. And that's about all that I have. I'm sorry I sped through this. I'm a little nervous.
Okay, Vincentia. Libby, I'm gonna take liberty just to ask a few more questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
Catherine, if you want to run through some of the details that we tend to cover in our annual programming sort of review, that would be great.
So let me just ask her a few questions related to the presentation. Do you know, I just want to know overall, do you know, so it's wonderful that you did disclose the annual budget, but do you know how many staff and volunteers you used, the numbers for staff and volunteers about, if you don't know exactly?
Off the top of my head, volunteers, I don't know, but staff is usually around 30 to 35.
Okay. And it would help us to know, so volunteers are another kind of capital known as social capital. So it would be nice to also be able to include some data on, so let's just go back. Libby, did you want me to, so like I said earlier, when we look at the programming, a lot of the programming here, what represents new programming? Like Carnegie Hall and Nomad Jazz Festival are.
Nomad Jazz is technically our newest. This is the second year we're doing it. Carnegie Hall, I'm not certain when that started, but in the last 3 summers that I've been at the park, it has been there.
Okay. So Libby, I'm not sure what you wanted to talk about, but please go ahead.
I don't have any additional questions on it. Just more of the high level programming stuff of in addition to the annual stuff, any commercial events, people send questionnaires to us that we see in addition to
Right.
these.
So each of these events will come to us as a programming event on the timeline that are that act as activations. Some of them will come as activations, such as Nomad and the annual fundraising events. And so we'll get into more details, and those will be events that would allow us to walk through a review process and our metrics. I did want to also mention that the park is open daily from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And again, one of the highlights of being a conservancy and a nonprofit is to be able to have input and feedback. And they certainly have a phone line open, but are out in the park that you can go sit on the bench and ask your questions and meet staff. And that's important in a city where everyone seems to be out of reach. So they are in touch with community. And I'm going to turn it back over to you, Libby.
Great. Thank you so much, Vincenzia. Always great to see you.
You too.
And hear about what is going on in Madison Square Park. Does the committee have any additional questions about any of these events? This, for some of these events, this will be the only time that we hear this event, because as the questionnaires come in, which we'll get to a little bit in our administrative stuff later, we're trying to streamline things. So if it's pretty similar to how it's been and there hasn't been any incident, or there's no sort of feeling that we must see it. So any questions that you have from the public would be the time to raise them.
I don't get tired of it.
Michael Kback.
Yeah, Catherine, did you say that the park is open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.? I'm pretty sure it's open earlier than 9 a.m.
Yeah,
wrong?
you and me both. But those are the daily. So if you want to clarify, Vincenzo, that you can, but those are the daily times of operation. But I'm sure you can go have a cup of coffee earlier.
Yeah, we usually open the park at 6:30. At least the dog run is open at 6:30. That I do know off the top of my head.
Okay. And do you consider, one specific question, do you consider, what is it called? The square just outside of, Worth Square, just outside of the park, do you consider that another programming area?
So Worth Square is ours. Yes. We don't usually program Worth Square. But then there's the Flatiron Bid Triangle, which is separate, and people get those confused, which I also get them confused quite a bit. Like, what's going on there? But so yes.
So that's just, yeah, I just wanted a point of clarification if there was
Totally.
any additional. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Todd.
Hi, can everybody hear me?
Yes. What is question on the presentation of annual programming or summer programming?
Yeah, just a couple of questions. The maintenance for the park during the summer, I noticed, the pool at the northern end looks a little, on the, you know what I'm talking about, right in front of the Ram, the torpedoes, who's the guide, right? Looks like it could use a little cleaning. And I
Okay.
noticed that wonderful fire plug, you know what I'm talking about? The fire plug art exhibit,
The fire hydrant.
right?
Yes.
The fire hydrant had some graffiti on it.
Yes.
So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Other than that, I love the park. I love these activities. I love the trees. And thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it.
All right. Are there any other questions from the committee about the annual programming, summer programming from Madison Square Park? All right, seeing none, I'll go to any comments from the public. All right, Charles Nye, you are recognized to speak. Josh, can you make me a host?
Yes.
Thanks.
Hi.
We can hear you.
I was wondering about the Carnegie Hall music program. I was wondering, just a few questions about it. I'm a blind person, sorry, I'm a constituent of the area. So I'm trying to visualize which area of the park would it actually be situated? For example, would it be at the 23rd Street end, or the 26th Street end, or the Madison side, or the Fifth Avenue side? Will there be ambassadors? I'm hoping that maybe I can contact at some time to maybe see if I can get some sighted guide assistance, which has been done in the past. There was a nice person called Truth. She helped me. I don't know if she's still there.
Oh, yep. I know Truth.
Oh, good. And I was wondering how long roughly will it last, and how many musicians are you anticipating? Will it be like a trio or a duet or a solo? And I was going to say also, do you know when you're going to get the results of the survey? I filled out the park survey through the email. And
Thank you so
I was
much.
wondering if, yeah, you're welcome. I'm wondering if there's any date of when there could be any, you know, will you be sharing the results with the public, or is that just for internal use
Mhm.
only? And I really love the questions, by the way, especially the one about asking if there's any ideas of how, if people had, who were taking the survey had any ideas about ideas to donate or things like that. Or yeah, there's some really good questions. I really thought it was a really well done survey. Thank you.
Charles, thank you for all your questions. To run through, the Carnegie concerts begin at 6 p.m. on July 8th, 15th, and 22nd. They're all quartets, funny enough. I don't know if that was intentional, but they are. And the music, they're all going to be on the oval lawn in the center of the park, if that's helpful. And I have it scheduled from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. to answer the Carnegie Hall question. And as to the survey question, historically, we haven't shared results with the public. Those have been really useful for us to kind of adjust our programming. If that is something, I'll go back to my colleagues and ask if that's something we're interested in doing. We're collecting responses until July 31st, I believe. Did I miss anything?
That's great. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Are there any other members of the public wishing to make a comment? Seeing none, I will now take this into business session.
What
where
about comments from the committee?
I will take this into business session where only members of the committee are allowed to speak. This is the time where comments and discussion happen. Michael Hayback, if you have a comment
I have a
related to the
comment.
resolution that you
Can
would
you
like to.
turn, please, Vincenza, to the second slide after the introductory slide?
Yes. Sorry about that. I closed out of my tab. Okay.
Let me tell you, there's been some really cool artwork while she's getting it up. That's the one. But none ever came close to this one right here. The one in the middle I'm showing you, with a mix between a knocker on a door and an elephant and a giraffe. It stood about 50 feet high, and it wasn't there altogether too short of a time. I loved it. The one that we're talking about now with the red fire hydrant, the Johnny pump with graffiti on it, I saw a giant dog just flying that thing up, but he walked away. That's my comment. That's good.
Okay,
Thank
any
you.
comments related to the programming, and sort of this resolution? Do we feel, in the past, we've commented on the type of activities, what is taking place, whether or not it is in line with the public use of the park versus the balancing of commercial activities in the park? If anyone has strong opinions about
Was there a
that
question right
breakdown. I'm trying to cultivate any opinions and commentary so we can move towards a resolution on the matter.
On what's, I didn't understand the question. You spoke too fast.
Would you like to make a motion about a resolution on the annual programming in Madison Square Park?
Talk to Christopher.
Question.
Catherine, yes.
So I did some review. It's been a while since we actually put forward a resolution on annual programming. I think the last time was in 2023.
We declined to see some things, but overall, that was the last time that we had. There's been a lot of turnover on both sides, so the annual programming piece of it, getting a high level sense of what the events are, and as well as the art programming and sort of high level stuff. We've declined in the past to see it in the most recent past, but we were moving towards seeing it all at once and then trying to streamline things, but.
I would favor putting forward a resolution because this is a way to have a blueprint for what we're doing, what we can expect going forward. So going forward, we will actually hear individual programming, but we have the broad view. And I would just like to be able to ask the applicant to provide the few questions that I had about staff versus volunteers. And, but I do feel, I think there are more questions, but when you're ready, let me know.
Catherine, you can ask those questions if you need
I don't
to.
have any more questions. I'm done.
Okay,
I see other hands raised.
okay, Todd, you've got comments?
Yes, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Todd.
Okay. So, Catherine took the words right out of my mouth. I think that it's great. Traditionally, we have heard, an overview of the programming, which is as it should be. I do think that for certain big events that move the needle, it might be appropriate, to have additional hearings about that in special cases. I do think that if we do have a resolution, I mean, generally we have a resolution noting the different activities.
Would you like
Hello?
to introduce that, Todd?
Yeah, so, but just generally, a general point is that what we're looking for, or what we've traditionally sought, is a mixture and balance of large-scale events, such as the wonderful concerts where people bring their blankets and they're listening to fantastic music, and then smaller scale things like this new bench thing that I heard tonight, and the reading things, and so it's the right mixture of large scale events and smaller intimate things, and just blending that in with the quiet use of the parks. And where there are large scale events, that they be limited in number, and that the noise and the commercial signage and promotions, be it, if any, be it reasonable scale. Now that is apart from, the 4 fundraisers, but we're just talking, and then the art exhibits, right? So we saw some pictures of some of the art exhibits, and a wonderful thing has been that with the art exhibits during the summer and during the other parts of the year, the board historically has advocated for things that they can be of big scale, but of big scale, shorter term, but of modest scale, we don't comment on the aesthetics so much, but just, whether they're appropriate as to time, scale, and duration. And
Okay.
yeah, so my resolution would be, whereas clauses, whereas we approve of the current year's programming, being consistent with a past mix of small scale events and larger scale events, including art exhibitions and concerts, and maybe another whereas clause where we say that, especially during the summers when there's so many people there, that we bring to the attention of the Parks Committee adequate maintenance. So things like graffiti and, the condition of the fountains and the lawns, which are usually meticulous, that we continue to expect the best from the parks, from the Madison Square Park Conservancy, and that for those events that have some exceptional element, that they continue to be brought to our attention for possible due diligence, or, separate, as Catherine said, for separate review, and that, therefore we resolve that we approve of this year's summer's programming. And we have, of course, many other years' resolutions that we can draw upon, which are perfectly adequate. And of course,
Okay.
unless anybody else wants to add to that.
Okay, so what I hear from you, Todd, is that you recommend an approval of the resolution and
Yes,
that you want to
approval.
list out the events that have been listed here by Vincenzia in the presentation, as well as the like sort of routine stuff that was touched on sort of lightly. That you approve of the large and small events, including some of the art events you want to go into a little more detail about. You want to have language in there about making sure that the attention to the maintenance and upholding of the lawn and other valued outdoor spaces, that you continue to expect the best in Madison Square Park to bring attention to that. And that if there are language about other larger scale events, I imagine that you also mean the commercial events that are happening or larger non-commercial events also be heard by this committee and brought to the attention of that committee. Did I capture what you were
Yes,
trying to do?
and what Catherine brought to our attention. So she might want to have something to say about another whereas clause.
Okay. Catherine, did you have whereas clauses that you wanted to add? And then Athena, I will come to you. Oh, you're muted, Catherine.
No, that's fine. I will capture what's been said here. That's fine.
Okay. I think you had additional questions for Vincenzia about staffing at various points in time and like bench hours, right?
That's right.
Okay, great. Athena.
Hi, I get that this is annual programming, so not the activations are not going to show up here. The Taste of Asia event, it says it's one of 2 fundraisers. What is the other fundraiser? And should that be part of this, or was this just a heads up that this is upcoming? For Vincenzia.
Vincenzia,
So
you're recognized.
wait a minute. So if you look on the slide, oh, I don't know if you have the slides, but basically the Taste of Asia on October 8th and then the annual tree lighting on December 3rd. But they have 2 fundraisers. They've only talked about one and they'll come to us with the other. Or if you want to add them.
Yeah.
Permit.
Our other annual fundraisers are Gala, which happens in April.
Okay.
Which we had heard about at our February meeting, I think, which took place in January. Am I getting my dates mixed up? It might have been the reverse of that, but it was very cold out when we heard about that. But we did have a heads up about the fundraiser, because the park entrances are closed off and the pathways are closed off, which is something we pay attention to as far as access. Gail.
So we have an active motion on the floor right now, correct?
We are working on what is going into that. We have a motion of, yes, we'd like to approve, what whereas and conditions, and if there are any, are going into what are we approving?
Okay,
Okay,
I
what
thought
are-
Catherine's were wrapped up, so I was ready to second
Yeah,
it.
what's the content of those? And does anyone have anything additional about the programming they would like to include in this resolution?
I feel like Madison Square Park's very strong and they've done a lot of this programming before, and I'm more than happy to second the existing motion.
Okay,
If no one has anything else to input.
we'll bring it to,
Todd's hands up. I don't know.
I don't think. I think
No, that
that's
was
still
from
up.
before, I
I think That's a remnant. Michael.
No,
Kaba.
that's from before.
Yeah, Michael Kaba.
I'd like to make an approach to approve this resolution, to approve the plan.
Okay,
I make that.
all right, let's bring this to a vote.
Okay,
Okay,
Anna,
yes.
Libby.
Yeah.
All right, what, I guess, Catherine, sorry, I skipped over you.
Yes.
John Harris,
Yes.
Mike Quebec,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Christopher,
Yes.
Andrea,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Robert.
Yes.
I'm a yes. All right, motion passes.
Great. Thank you so much, Vincenzia. It is always great to see you and hear more about what is going on in Madison Square Park. We appreciate
Myrtle,
your
did
time.
you call me?
And thank
Oh,
you.
did I miss you? I am so sorry. I don't know why.
Wait, or is there an Anna in the room, or was that, I didn't hear it quite clearly.
No, I didn't call you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Athena.
I'm a yes.
Yes, good.
Um,
Apologies, thank you.
and Catherine, you are good to write up that for the resolution, right? You've got the
Yeah.
materials.
Mhm.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
All right. So, that is our only official meeting agenda item on the public agenda and the public hearing. If there is any new business, or any general comment on any topics not covered by, the meeting agenda that anyone from the public would like to make, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. Charles Nye, you are recognized.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I'm concerned about what's happened in our parks and public spaces, especially Times Square recently and Bryant Park when it came to the Knicks winning. You know, obviously there's people who celebrate responsibly, but unfortunately there were a few who climbed on lamp posts and damaged signs, and of course those school buses that were set on fire in the Times Square. So I'm just thinking about if there's something for the committee to think about, since to do with public spaces and parks, about how watch parties are done for the future. If they're, you know, who knows if the mayor wants to do any future events. So just wondering about trying to think about some sort of guidelines or some sort of something to make sure that the small people the few who are bad actors don't cause damages to our public spaces and parks, which obviously, you know, could cost money to repair and restore. And my last comment for new business is I'm hoping that eventually the matrix can be updated to have to do with the activations to really help the applicants think about accessibility for people with various disabilities, not just the blind. I know I speak a lot about blind and vision impaired, but you know, the deaf, and you know, people with autism and other sorts of disabilities, because sometimes it seems to be more focused on wheelchair accessibility versus other disabilities. So we should think more about the whole spectrum of disability. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comments, Charles, on both the public watch parties and viewing events, as well as on committee business on review of accessibility and needs. I do believe that the questionnaire in our matrix is going to be reviewed soon. So thank you for those comments. All right. Seeing no other members of the public, thank you. This concludes the public portion of our meeting. The rest is all admin. Committee members, please stay on, but Josh will help end the recording and the public part of the meeting. Josh, that's you.
Mhm. You make me host again?
We're not recording anymore.
No, we're just,
We're just stop recording.
we're about to not be.
Nope, not there, for more. Here, hold on, just click on record.
Okay. Thank you, making the
And
host.
then you gotta make sure that there are no public members and that they can join.
Yeah, but I need to make him the host.
I'll make Josh the host.
Yeah.
Like, the kind of man, so
Speaking of watch party, I almost would have had to hike here through crowds.
God, it was
Nothing
busy.
stops quorum, guys.
Yeah, there you go. Make host, right there.
Am I staring at it? Oh, all right.